Hi everyone.
Hello. Number
back.
125.
125.
Yeah.
Very good number.
Yeah.
That's a lot of podcasts.
Yeah, I know. I try to remember some that we've done, and some I can't even remember what we've done.
No.
We've done a lot.
We have done a lot of podcasts.
Definitely. So what's new, gals?
Well, the sun is out, which is great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be a little chilly this coming week, though.
I know.
Well, this is
Is
going
that
to
what
air.
they said? I haven't really paid attention
when
to
this
the weather.
airs, maybe it won't be. Maybe it'll go back to being warm again.
And how cold is it supposed to be?
50.
Oh, all right. That's not too bad.
You know, maybe colder at night. I don't remember.
But not below freezing.
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay.
Raining tomorrow. It's supposed to be very crappy rainy.
Maybe it'll discourage your visitor. Have you told everybody about your visitor?
The birds?
Yeah.
Well, they're not coming right now because my son's working in the backyard, but I have cardinals. They're so weird. For about a month or so ago, my front window, well, first of all, for 2 days I could be in my kitchen, I hear tap, tap, tap. I'm like, oh, are those the pipes? Like something in the pipes. And then finally I came into my living room and I saw the bird on the windowsill, but when I got a little closer, it flew away. And this was going on for a month. I'll put something in the window, it helps. But I put bottles the other day and it didn't deter at all. Whatever. Unless I close the curtain and that deters.
That's just person. Okay.
But then now I have a different cardinal that goes to my back bathroom window that's, off my bedroom. And it woke me up this morning at 6 o'clock in the morning. For the whole time I was trying to sleep, I was dreaming about it, like it roped in my dreams. But yeah, it's like very weird. This has never happened to me before, where the birds are persistent.
Very territorial.
Yeah,
I think.
but it's my house. I don't have anything that should belong to them.
They're fighting off competition.
It's
either that or someone's trying to get your attention. As you know, the cardinals can be spiritual.
Right.
The one you had in the front was a female. The one in the back was a male.
Right. But the thing is that if they're trying to get my attention, why are they flying away when I get closer to them? And then I asked them that. I'm like, why are you flying away? But yeah, no, it's just very weird. It's just, I've never had that experience before. But my neighbors say that they've been seeing so many cardinals lately. So
I love cardinals.
I mean, they're beautiful birds, and they've been seeing a lot of blue jays too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're very beautiful too.
Yeah.
Now they can be. I always found more aggressive than cardinals. So I think it's funny that the cardinals are the ones being very territorial.
Yeah, definitely.
That and the mockingjays, they can be brutal.
Mockingbirds?
Yeah.
Mockingbirds. Mockingjay was the book.
No, I thought they were mockingjays. They look like blue jays, but they're gray.
Called mocking. Well, there's gray jays and there's blue jays, but mockingbirds are a different.
Are those the ones that look
They're the
like
ones
blue
whose
jays?
tail, like they keep their tail up, but they're gray and black. They're very pretty with some white.
Okay.
And when they fly, you see that flash of white under there.
Okay.
Yeah, and they have beautiful songs. So.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Shall we have some wine?
Notice how we're avoiding conversation about the country, but that's okay.
Well, our last podcast kind of touched a little bit, don't you think, about the climate and what I know it ended abruptly, but it was about what would you do? It's something to keep in mind. Like, when we're in today's world and we see everything as like,
exactly.
Let's just pay attention. It doesn't have to affect us in order to be worthy of speaking out.
Exactly. Absolutely. I agree with that.
Yes. My subject's going to be about things that are going on in the country.
Oh, okay.
And I just found a couple of pages. I said, I forgot to review this stuff. I started, so that'll be a little haphazard.
How about, since we ran a little over, I start with the wine.
Sure.
Really going just in case. All right, so this is a wine that I've had sitting in for a while. I bought it a month ago, and I almost kept drinking. I was like, no, I want to save this. That's it? No. It's called True Myth. I've never had this one, but the label is so pretty. It's a butterfly with lots of flowers.
It's very pretty.
You're made out of flowers, I should say. I bought this at Stu Leonard's. And it is from Paso Robles. It's a Cabernet Sauvignon.
Ooh, I think.
And it's from 2023.
I
like the wines from Paso Robles.
I like the aroma.
I've never had this one.
Well, I haven't had this one, but it's part of wine country. I've been actually to Paso Robles.
Now you did a very creative one last time, which was a white Bordeaux. And that was interesting. I have to say I did enjoy it. But this is just a Cabernet, so you know.
Well, it smells good.
It does smell good.
Well, what are we going to toast? What should we toast?
Let's see. This will probably be airing, at the end of April?
Yeah, probably
I would
at
think.
the end of April.
So Earth Day.
Which is my birthday.
I know.
Oh, that's right.
I know you.
Happy birthday and happy Earth Day.
Yeah.
Plant a tree.
Yes, please do. A native tree.
Ooh.
Yeah, I like this one.
It's a good one.
I like it too.
It's got peppery in it, I think.
I'm not looking at...
No, I'm not. I can read some notes on here. Okay, this Cabernet Sauvignon is pure Paso Robles, full of polished aromas of blueberry, cherry, and vanilla, leading to flavors of dark red fruits, black currants, and hints of pepper. Look at that.
Yeah.
Mocha and caramelized oak. Rich yet smooth, this wine is very approachable now and will continue to mature for years to come.
Oh. It won't last that long.
No, it won't last that long. But I can
None
tell.
of my house.
I know I like one if it tastes like pepper. There's something about it that I just love. And this definitely had it. It's so good.
The next time I have a wine, I'm going to do a comparison between Shiraz and Syrah. Because I looked into that whole thing.
You're going to do it with us
We
on
should
the
do
podcast?
it here.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
It would be.
We'd have a tasting.
We could do like a flight one day.
Yeah,
too.
that crossed my mind.
I have the little, remember I bought those little tiny ones?
Yeah.
They're too little, I
They
think.
are tiny. We should
For a
I'm gonna
flight,
go to
I mean, just for, and then we could always choose the one we like and then pour one that, a bigger glass of it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, so that's going to be my next one. I did have the 2 bottles to compare, but then
Did you drink?
I wonder what happened.
Oh, God. I have one of them.
What a shock. Okay, so what did we think though for this one as far as alcohol content? Let me look it up because I did not look at it.
I'm going to say 12.
Really? I was going to say 14.
Ooh.
I actually used my flashlight. Okay, what did you say?
I said 12. Carol said 14.
14.8.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh.
I usually can tell when something's high in alcohol content. Natasha was even impressed by me because we were out to dinner. And I said, she goes, why aren't you drinking any wine? I said, this is so high in alcohol. She goes, it is? Natasha, she looked at the bottle and it was 15.
This is very smooth.
15 is very high.
Yeah, so this is good.
True.
All right, so price point? Okay, I'm going to stick with $14.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to do 15.
It is $24.
Wow.
Yes. I think it's worth it though. I think this is delicious.
Very good.
It's good. It is very good.
Yes.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. How many wildflowers?
I'd give this a 5.
5.
Yes, I would say 5 too.
I love this. It's so smooth and it's not overpowering. It's just a very enjoyable wine to drink.
So I have a question for the both of you though. Since we do 2 podcasts back to back, if the wine before isn't that good, does that up the number of wildflowers that we would give the wine that we're having now?
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't.
No,
because
I
we've
judge
had
each
so much
wine,
time, and we
I
usually eat in between something.
Yeah.
So like I
Yeah.
eat in between this one. So no,
Yeah.
that are the ones a distant memory now.
I mean, we'll say this is much better than the last one,
right,
but it doesn't make me judge it differently.
You don't judge.
No, I don't judge a wine by its bottle.
I do. That's how I buy it. No, I'm not judging, but that's how I buy it.
That's
how I buy it.
what catches my eye too.
Yes.
Look at the label.
I always look at the prices.
Yes, I do too when I'm shopping. I shop online for wine, so.
Yeah. Oh, so there's the wine, and I like True Myth. That's keeping with our reading theme. I love myths. Maybe we could do some myths one day for our books or something.
Sure.
That would be a good one.
I love that we still have ideas for our podcast.
I know. I hear we thought we like our
still have ideas.
Our basket in case is still full after 125.
Oh, let me do one anyway, just for the fun of it.
It's funny. It was time to. Go ahead.
Oopsie.
These are for ones we thought if we ever ran out of topics, we could just pull in here.
This is a good one.
Oh.
What's your favorite curse word or phrase?
Shut the front door. I like that, yeah. Shut the front door.
That's not a curse word.
No, but it's a phrase. I like
Well, yeah, she's right. It's a
Yeah, okay.
phrase. What is mine usually? Mine is usually Jesus Christ. I usually say just or motherfucker. Those two. What's yours?
I don't know. When I'm driving, I call people names all the time.
Yes, you do.
I always say dickwad. You got dickwad? I don't even know what it means. I think I made it up. I don't know.
I'm sorry, but I'm getting a visual.
I know.
No.
Well, there's something that it's not really a phrase, but it's a reaction I always have. Like if I'm watching a show, like usually like Law and Order SVU or something like to do with like a pervert or something like that. Like I was like, yeah, you arrest him. I get very, and I'm like, and then you kick him. I want to kick them. Like I'm always like, I can kick them. But I don't know where that comes from.
Probably because it's real. That was just like cases. Two police officers were just suspended. Really? They were arresting this guy. He turned out to be the wrong person.
Oh, gosh.
But it's all on video. They were kicking the shit out of him. Even Jessica...
Did he do a sex crime?
No, it was... No, it wasn't. It wasn't even him. It was mistaken identity. They beat the shit out of him, kicking him, slamming him into walls.
And
he kept on saying,
just a
check my ID, it's not me. And they just kept on beating him up.
Because they can.
It's a shame. You know what? They give the New York City Police Department a very bad name. Because I know most of the officers are not those people.
Yeah. Right. And it's I've had this kind of, my husband, as you know, is in that field, and I always tell him all the time, it's like any other profession. There are good people in the profession, there are bad people.
Right.
So they're good lawyers, bad lawyers, good accountants, bad teachers,
good writers, bad writers.
Right. But, when we get stuck on, I'm team blue or I'm team, fire department or whatever.
I know.
You're blinding yourself.
That's right.
And it's making these bad apples are dragging the whole
And I think
down.
that as a person that has so much power and is carrying a weapon, that they should be vetted more carefully. Yeah. Psychologically vetted. I think some of these people are crazy.
Well, the problem is, the standards drop. We're seeing that happen now, in federal standards too. DOJ attorneys or, air traffic controllers. All the standards, they can't attract people enough for these jobs. Who wants to be a police officer?
Yeah, crazy people.
The laws are changing so much now that's making it harder and harder to be a police officer. And the pay is not good. The working hours are horrible. The quality of life to be married to a police officer is really difficult. To be a parent and be a police officer.
So it's attracting the same people that are being attracted to working for ICE. Like they're playing soldier. Right. I have a gun. I can bully people.
I can kick them.
Yeah,
I feel bad about saying that kicking thing. It's only.
I know. That's when you said it. I said, "Oh my God."
No, I don't know.
I know that.
It's something. I don't know why it comes out, but I guess it's because I get so mad at these.
Yeah.
There is a movie with the title on it that the girl wants to kick.
Yeah, she said, "If I had legs, I'd kick you."
That's right.
So it's Rose Byrne. It was actually nominated for Oscar, and I think I saw it. And I told Nora, I said, I think I saw it and I think I liked it. And she said, Peggy, I just watched that movie and it was the weirdest movie I ever saw. So I said, maybe she was trying to protect her child or something.
See, I didn't watch it. So
I don't know. I said, maybe I really didn't see it, but I thought I watched it. But whatever. So you have the book?
I have the book. I've been on the fence about this one to share or not, because it's been on the bestseller list for 18 weeks now.
Yeah, I was on the fence about buying it, and I was going to read it, and then I opted out. I said, I'm not going to read it.
So it's Theo of Golden by Allen Levi. And I read this like 5 books ago, so I had to try to remember a lot of it. I do take notes when I read the book, but Theo shows up in the town of Golden, and he's an elderly gentleman. He's in his 80s, and we don't know much about him, but there's throughout you're given like little ideas of who he might be. And he is wealthy. You can tell he's got money, but he's financially well off. But it's a mystery. Why did he show up at Golden? And
so he's not from there.
No, he's not from there. But he ends up going to this coffee shop, and on the walls are paintings of local people. And this part to me, I didn't get quite so sold on it, but he liked the painting, so he made a decision to buy the painting and find the person that it was of and give it to them. So I was like, okay, but why? Like, maybe they don't want, it's supposed to be on the wall.
Right.
But anyway, so one of the issues I had is that the very first person that he did was this woman, and he brought the picture, and then he sends them a letter, says, I have your picture, I would like to, give it back to you, I'm not weird, I can meet you in public, on a park bench, and, he's saying all this stuff, and her and her husband are like, this is strange. This is like, who is this guy? But they don't go back to the coffee shop and ask the owner, like, who bought this painting? Because he bought it from the owner. So why didn't they?
So is the coffee shop like what some artists did it and they're like on display there for purchase?
Yes.
Okay, so they're offered for sale.
Offered for sale for whatever reason. So he had to find the artist too, which that part was interesting. But that part, when you're reading a book and that comes up right away, I'm like, you kind of glossed over that, because if somebody reached out to me, I'm like, I'm going to go to this coffee shop and say, who was this person that bought my painting?
Like in the movie, one of my favorite movies, An Affair to Remember.
Oh, okay.
Cary Grant and Jean Carroll. That's how he found out.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's true. I didn't see that.
So, all right, so we get to know, though, each of the characters behind these paintings, which I think that alone is very interesting. Like, he gets to know them. He sits on the park bench, and he says what inspired him about the painting of these people. Like, you look sad, or, you look happy, whatever. And one of the characters is a homeless woman named Ellen, who I love. I think she was one of my favorites. And she has a tragic story. So on page 151, we're going to get a taste of the conversation that he had with her. So it's taken him a while to pull her story out of her. Okay. But it was very sad. It was very tragic. And I'm not going to give away exactly what it was, because I don't want to give away too many spoilers. But he said, I'm so sorry, Ellen. So sorry. And she says, you don't need to apologize, Mr. Theo. It's not your fault. And then he says, maybe not, but maybe yes. Ellen, the older I get, the more convinced I am that every hurt the world has ever known is somehow the fault of every person who ever lived. Maybe not directly and never entirely, but somehow I fear we own all of the world's hurts together. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was sweet. I liked that. It was, and I know a lot of people were questioning this book. They thought it was a testament to Christianity. Mm-hmm. And part of me was like, is he religious? Is this going to be a bait and switch type thing where in the end, oh, God was good? But it wasn't quite that way. One of the things that he does say too, and I had in my notes to ask the two of you what you think of this saying, and then I wasn't going to share it, but then after I thought about it, I was like, there's something about it. So he says to one of the people, he goes, you can bend a twig, but not a tree. Think about that. Mm-hmm. And I liked that. Because then I was thinking, okay, so, the very youthful, you can bend them to your way.
I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking of each generation really might be better than the former one.
Right.
Like the tree would be
more solid.
Yes, and then as children grow up, they have their own minds and their own ideas, and you could mold them when they're children. You could mold them into.
Yeah, that's why we draft young people, because they're not molded. Yeah. It's easier to make them. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because you two are looking at it, the twig as being children, because I guess an offshoot, but I look at it as being one, as a woman who named her 2 daughters after trees.
Given
that's a lot of thought.
Right.
And trees are very strong, and they need to have an element of flexibility and vulnerability, and know when to break and what part to let go, but yet to withstand. And a twig is not yet the form. So we have all these, the people we were when we were young, our ideals are probably not the same. Like, we let go of, like, sometimes I've had a stupid moment in our younger, and it wouldn't, but yet to the core of us, we're the same, but sometimes our ideas or actions we might do differently. We could break those and let it go. Some relationships, break them, let it go.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But those are that's how I look at it.
Oh, that's interesting.
I don't know. I find it's like you can bend a twig, but not a tree.
Right.
So to me, that means like the tree could be like a dogma or
trees break.
Yeah.
Some trees are stronger than others.
Well, not according to Theo, Judy.
Well, I haven't read it, but trees break. Yeah, they do. All right, so let's
So there's some witty dialogue in the novel, and then there's a poem that I thought of. I think of you two a lot when I'm reading, especially when it has anything to do with plants or anything like that, because we all know I kill plants. Not intentionally. All right, so he was talking about a store called Verbivore. And so when Theo asked this guy about it, he recited a poem that he'd written. Herbivores eat Brussels sprouts. Carnivores eat birds. Cashivores eat dollar bills.
There's the bird.
And there it is. My bird came back, guys. Verbivores 8 words. It just ruined my poem.
Well, I knew that it was going to be each words.
But I thought that was really cute.
Yeah.
So,
just FYI, the cardinal, the female, just came knocking on the window that Harold just spoke about.
Yeah.
So cute.
Yep, and there's not going to be one in the back for a while because my son's not working. All right, and then there's another character that he found the painting too, and his name is Kendrick. And Kendrick works as a janitor to try to pay his daughter's medical bills because she had been in a car accident and she was severely hurt. So he talked to him about justice versus mercy. And there are a lot of good topics about in this book that you could make for a good book discussion. Yeah. But again, all right, but I won't go into that right now. 2:55. Okay. So he talked to him about it. He goes, baby, they's justice and they's mercy. If you're not sure what to do, then you gotta choose one or the other. I say always go with the mercy. If you make a mistake, make it for mercy. Bad mercy don't hurt nearly like bad justice. And always remember, the eye of God can see. So when he was talking about justice versus mercy, I don't know if I ever really, maybe I did think about it, just not in that context, but.
It's principle over practice.
That's right.
At the end of the day, God, if you believe in Christianity, is the only one that can judge.
Right,
but he teaches, Jesus' teaching is mercy and forgiveness.
Yeah, mercy.
And sometimes when you're in the position to dispense justice, like a judge, they have to consider mercy also.
Right.
You know, there are extenuating.
Talk a little louder. I feel like
there are extenuating. Well, it's a serious subject.
It is.
Yeah. No, I just want to make sure they can hear us.
Serious.
Yeah. No, definitely. And finally, he talks about poisonous beauty. Now, before I read, what do you think that means?
Oh, that means me. I mean, when I was a young woman.
When I think
that's what it said right here.
I think of someone like Erica Kirk.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that's so funny.
Or Kim Kardashian. Yes. Yeah, well, you can say it out loud.
Well, here's what they mean.
Yeah.
The phrase poisonous beauty formed in his mind. He wondered if there might be other things like that. Like azaleas were beautiful and toxic at the same time.
Yeah.
Let me think. Rattlesnake, jellyfish, hemlock, black widow,
sharks,
words without wisdom. power without compassion, appetite without boundaries, pleasure without gratitude, art without humility. I love that one.
Yeah.
I wonder if Basil could write a song called Poisonous Beauty. Basil was one of the other characters that was a singer.
Oh, okay.
And so I thought about that, Poisonous Beauty. That's interesting. So the book is, I would give it 3.5 Wildflowers. Only because I felt that there were some things that he glossed over. The ending, did I write anything? Oh, I did. Okay. It was a bit treacly, the ending. I mean, the whole novel is a bit treacly. But so many people like this book, and I was wondering, why did, because it was initially self-published, and then it got a traditional published because it had sold a lot of copies. I'm glad I read it. I said I would give it 4 stars here for his unique approach. But again, I had some issues with, like, initially, you want to have faith in this story when these people that could have gone back to the coffee shop to say, who bought our painting? And they never did.
That part didn't strike me as odd as much as it being, because I've always wondered, like, Niall and I, we collect art, amateur art, and from usually, and so we get, and we look, and when we look, decide what buy, like, we don't do portraits. It just doesn't appeal to us. But it always makes me think when I see the new ones come out, because there's a particular art society in Boston that we patronize. I'm like, don't these people want their portraits? Like, they know they're sitting for it usually. Usually they do not, or they don't, but as don't they want them? And then where does it end up? Don't you want to, like, it just makes me wonder. So, but I'm like, if you're sitting for a portrait, or if some artist is painting you, I would think if they wanted it, they would have said, can I buy, or a family member would
or you
buy
commission that person to paint your portrait so that you could have it.
So that part was like, maybe, so I would think it's a little weird. Somebody called us, I was like, I know, my portrait was painted. I know, if I wanted it, I would have bought it. Yeah. But the concept of what he's talking about kind of reminded me a little bit of The Correspondence. Whereas everyday life, like, you're getting to know people in an everyday setting, and people have stories, and so forth. I wonder if
it's like this book too. It's
I thought of that when you were talking.
A little biography of the people who lived in this town.
When you were talking about that, I thought of that exactly.
Yeah, I'd be the
vignettes.
What'd you say?
Vignettes.
Oh yeah, vignettes. Well, I did have my portrait, Jason and myself, painted. There was an artist in Sunrise Mall, and I did it for Rob for Father's Day.
Oh, nice.
But of course, when we got divorced, he's not going to put my picture up with his new wife, that kind of thing.
Where is the picture?
It's here and somewhere.
You should hang it up.
No, out in the garage or in the base. I forget where it is, but yeah.
Why wouldn't you hang it up?
I don't know, because it was a gift for Rob on the back.
So?
I don't know.
No one's going to see the back.
I know.
I would hang it up. It's a picture. It's an image of you. I would
it's
definitely
part of
hang
your
it up.
history.
Yeah.
How lovely, Carol. You should dig it out.
It was a nice gift. It was a really nice gift.
Yeah.
But
you're not naked, are you?
I'm holding my 4-year-old son. No. So anyway, it's Theo of Golden. You probably have heard about it, and it might be of interest to you. I'm not going to discourage anyone from reading it, but
it certainly sold a lot very popular. It was very popular. I don't know if it still is.
It's still 18 weeks on the bestseller list. So.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So that's it. So who's got the topic?
I have the topic, and it might be a little disjointed because I had a very busy week, and I actually just found a piece of my topic that I forgot that I even had. So
sounds about right.
I'm going to be talking about Pete Hegseth.
Oh yay!
Yes, I am. So this is the first part this is what I came across when I was reading the paper one morning. And it was a letter to the Inspector General of the Department of Defense. I refuse to call it the Department of War. And evidently the Congress people...
And it used to be called that, though. Department.
Yeah, I know, but it shouldn't be. That's a terrible name for anything.
But I'm just saying.
Defense is different than war, okay? You could prepare to defend yourself, but... Department of War sounds like you're warmongers, and yes, exactly. So anyway, this was authored by Jamie Raskin, Jared Huffman, a whole bunch of Congress people. I'm sure that they're all Democrats. And they sent a letter to the Inspector General of the Department of Defense, and they're writing regarding recent reports of disturbing discourse within the military that the current war in Iran is justified by biblical end times prophecies.
Yeah. I actually emailed myself that for a future topic.
I'll give you this letter. It'll help you. Because then I forgot that I even printed it out. Yeah. So at the end of it, there's all kinds of bullet points in it. I'm not going to read the whole thing. But it says, at a time when billions of dollars and untold numbers of lives hang in the balance, while the Trump administration wages a war of choice in Iran, the imperative of maintaining strict separation of church and state and protecting the religious freedom of our troops is especially critical. We must ensure that military operations are guided by facts and the law, not end times prophecy and extreme religious beliefs. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So anyway, we'll see what happens with this. They probably shredded it and threw it in the garbage can. But my main subject about Pete Hegseth, I want to talk about what Trump did with trans people in the military, because it's really pretty disgraceful. So when the president first took office, it was one of his first acts that he did. His first official act was to sign an order forcing all trans troops out of the military. So a year later, this guy, Dave Phillips, he was the reporter from the Times who did this, article. A year later, he wanted to get an official account of how many people had been discharged under the policy, but of course the Pentagon wouldn't give him any numbers. So he started by asking around. And he was astounded to learn that while nearly all trans troops had been forced out of their jobs, many were still in the military and still getting paid to do nothing. And then he interviewed a lot of these people who were still on the books, so they couldn't be replaced. Mm-hmm. So now these departments are short manpower, and some of them held pretty important positions. And I just thought, and they were doing this, the reason for doing it was to save money.
Like Doge.
Yes, because they claimed that they had to spend too much money on trans, medical, concerns
and whatever.
Yes, exactly.
But they're getting paid. Just quickly, they're getting paid to stay at home.
Yes.
Like with Doge, when they told people they could leave in March or April and get paid till the end of September.
I know.
Right.
To do nothing.
Millions and millions and millions of dollars. Okay. And he said in doing this article, he said that most of these people told him, I just want to do my job.
Right.
That was what he heard over and over again. I don't want them to pay me I want to do my job.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's pretty heartbreaking to read some of this stuff. So, well, anyway, so he starts with highly trained service members have been put on paid leave for nearly a year as they wait for the military to decide their fate. Okay, so this one here, Trump ordered a ban on trans service members days after taking office, saying it was necessary to improve operations and cut costs in the military. Instead, trans troops say highly trained professionals have been removed from positions with little planning. It's something that's common in this government. There is no planning, no thinking about the future.
It's knee-jerk reactions.
Leaving their teams short-handed. When they disappeared from their jobs, they stayed on Defense Department books for months, unable to be replaced and being paid to do nothing. This is one Captain Katie Benton. It's the biggest waste I've ever seen. She's a decorated air defense officer who has served in the Army for 13 years. I've proven I'm good at my job. They just won't let me do it. The captain was scheduled to deploy to Iraq in June. She had broken her apartment lease near Fort Campbell, Kentucky, packed her duffel bags when she was abruptly told by her commander that she couldn't go because she was trans. Since then, she has been sitting at home. She keeps her duffels packed just in case she gets called, but nobody has called her. She said, I'm trained to take care of soldiers, and my soldiers are over there in harm's way, she said. It kills me not to be there with them. And the Defense Department has stayed silent on how many troops have been forced out, how the ban has affected operations, and how much has been spent on severance checks and paid leave. The department and all of its service branches declined to comment.
Can I just interrupt?
Yes.
This is not fake news.
No.
This is factual. This is somebody that did the research, interviewed the people. You won't see this on Fox. You won't see this on any of the...
I don't know how they get away with it because it is discrimination. These people weren't bad at their jobs.
Right.
They weren't fired because they weren't doing their job and not doing a good job. They were fired simply because they were trans.
Right.
And that's discrimination.
Of course it is. He doesn't care. He doesn't care.
So President Trump, when he signed the executive order last year, said being transgender, this is a quote, conflicts with a soldier's commitment to an honorable, truthful, and disciplined lifestyle. How?
Yeah, how?
How? Does anybody ask that question? Like, how does it conflict with it?
No, they never. He's got his yes people that won't question.
All right, and Hegseth has been very outspoken in public comments. He described allowing people to identify as a gender other than their sex at birth as a woke ideology.
Right. Yeah, I heard
Trans troops, he said, express a false gender identity, that's a quote, that cannot satisfy the rigorous standards necessary for military service. But they had to go through those tests, those physical tests, in order to be in it.
But so they're penalizing false gender, but bearing false witness against your neighbor is not something that they would penalize, or they actually support that.
Well, that's what they do it all the time.
Committing adultery, so being false against your wife or your husband, that's actually okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? So that's okay. They're very selective with false here.
Yeah.
False tax returns. That's okay.
Yeah, I know.
I guess, yeah.
Okay, Mr. Hegseth, I don't even call him Mr. Hegseth, has refused to meet with trans troops who say they can meet those standards. In May, he told an audience, no more dudes in dresses, we're done with that shit. You remember that when he said that.
Yeah.
And when the band
Somebody didn't tell that to Kristi Noem's husband.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I forgot.
I'm sorry.
So
that still baffles me. I didn't get what that was all about.
Yeah.
It's just bizarre.
I digress. Sorry.
The hypocrisy of all of this is just a joke.
It is. So when the ban was announced, the military gave trans troops a choice. Leave voluntarily for double the separation pay. Talk about saving money, okay?
Yeah.
Or be forced out. In both cases, troops spent months waiting for the military to take action. So they were being paid for months and months and months anyway, no matter which option you picked.
Exactly.
So some who opted to leave started to be discharged in December. So that was like a full year, right? From January when he came in until December.
They got paid a year paid vacation.
Yep.
Right.
So, and those who...
Taxpayer money.
Yeah. And those who didn't volunteer are largely still waiting, and they're still being paid.
Of course.
Okay, so the New York Times found the group included at least 10 doctors and 8 lawyers. The government paid for their education, requiring years of military service in return. But many of them are now being discharged before they've served their obligation. And the Army paid for 3 years of law school at Harvard for this one particular one, Ryan Gunderman. In exchange, the Army expected the young captain to serve for 6 years as an Army lawyer. She had served less than 2 when she was put on leave. She chose to leave the Army voluntarily, and after more than 6 months on paid leave, she was discharged in January. This is a quote from her, they spent more than $500,000 on me just in education. Can you think of another organization that would look at my credentials and say, okay, let's get rid of her? It is just waste. All right, so trans service members filed 2 federal civil rights cases in early 2025 challenging the ban. Both are still pending. In May, the Supreme Court, of course, allowed the ban to take effect while the cases move forward. So, and many of the troops forced into administrative leave have specialized training that is now going unused. This particular one, it was a Navy Chief Petty Officer, Parker Moore, supervised about 80 sailors who ran the nuclear reactor on the aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln. Last year, the Lincoln was preparing to deploy when Chief Moore was put on leave. The Rear Admiral in charge of the carrier ordered the chief back to the ship, saying in a memo, "Your technical expertise, deck leadership, professionalism, loyalty, and character are necessary for day-to-day operations." The Navy eventually pulled the chief from the job anyway, and the Lincoln was deployed from San Diego in November.
I'm listening.
Chief Moore was discharged in December. The Lincoln is now involved in combat operations against Iran.
You can't make this up. You need popcorn.
Yes, exactly. It's like a really bad horror movie.
It is.
This is from Chief Moore. I have had really bad guilt about not being there. That's my job. I was good at it. Others have to do extra because I am not there. They're in a hard place. If something goes wrong in the reactor, it affects the whole ship. So the cost of being forced out runs deeper than money. They say they were forced to abandon the values of duty and honor that they vowed to uphold. And there was another woman, Julia B. Kraft. She was an Army Sergeant, first class. She was deployed to Afghanistan 3 times and awarded the Brown Star.
3 times.
Yeah, the Brown Star. Bronze Star.
I was like, what's a brown?
Yeah, I know. She was slated to lead a platoon when she was told to stay away from her battalion at Fort Hood, Texas. She was put on paid leave where she remains. The order was so devastating that she checked herself into an Army mental health hospital.
Wow.
Of the 20 soldiers in the hospital at the time, 4 were transgender, dealing with the mental effects of the ban, she said. It makes you lose faith in the whole system. All I ever wanted to be is a soldier. I used to be proud of it. Now I don't know if I could ever bring myself to put on a uniform again. She started to cry, then added, it sucks that they've taken that from me. The number of trans people in the military is small. The government said in a filing last year that there were 4,240 trans troops, about 0.2% of the 2 million in uniform.
You know, there's no Trumps though in uniform.
No,
Right.
and there never will be.
No.
The cost of providing medical care, including psychotherapy, hormone therapy, and surgery, was $52 million over 10 years, according to the filing. This is for trans people. The Defense Department spent more on lobster tails in September than it spends in a typical year on transgender-specific medical care.
I remember hearing that. I was like, are you kidding me?
Then there was another one, Kathleen McNamara. She served in the Air Force as a social worker for 12 years and left as a major in 2024. So this woman was being promoted too.
Right.
And like they were long-term, they were like career military people doing their jobs. And during her time in uniform, she said she had to discharge a trans service member who could not meet performance standards, because that's one of their things. In all that time, one person, in all those years that she was a social worker. If a trans person can't meet the standard, she said, there are established ways to put them out of the military. She recently published a review of 58 studies of trans troops, and it found no evidence that they hinder military operations. In her last assignment with the military, she said she worked with a transgender physician who was the best doctor I've ever met. He was an all-star, a top researcher, a great doctor, and one day he was just forced out. So, it goes on and on. It's somebody else said it's such a waste. It's so frustrating. This is a master sergeant in the Space Force. He led a team near Washington, D.C. that protects classified satellites from cyber attacks. She said, there's no one to backfill me. I was just gone. And they couldn't get a replacement for months because I was still on the books.
Right.
God, let's see. There's so much. This is smart of some of them. What the heck, they were being paid. Some troops have tried to use the time they spend on leave to prepare for civilian life.
Yeah.
Alexandra Dimitrides was a Black Hawk helicopter pilot. These people had such high-functioning jobs. Deployed in Thailand when the ban took effect, she was abruptly sent home. In the year since, she has flown nearly every day, but not for the Army. She used her GI Bill tuition benefits to train as a commercial airline pilot. So that's more money that they paid for that too.
Oh, yeah.
Because she was still on the books.
Yeah.
On March 1st, she was
gets that
discharged.
no matter what, either she's not on the books, she's in the military, she gets her GI benefits.
On March 1st, she was discharged. A year of paid leave and separation pay added up to more than $300,000. So how is this saving money?
Not.
Why is it not being questioned
How do you
in
like
Congress?
them apples?
She said that's a lot of money to pay someone not to do their job. They say this policy was about fairness and efficiency, but it seems pretty clear that it's not.
Well, it's happening in every branch of the federal government.
Yeah.
Because DOGE came in and enticed people who were scared, who were, about losing their jobs and so forth. Hey, take this now. You can stay at home. And get paid until the end of the year or the end of September in some cases, but there's a lot of people I know that will stay to the end of the year. We're talking about a lot of money.
Yeah,
and they were still getting paid.
I know. And not only these trans people, there's only 4,200 of them. It's
But the military, the civilians, they did that with civilian employees.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But
no, not even just trans. It's just, here's some money.
Exactly, I know, that's what I'm saying. It's not just the trans people, that's a very small percentage.
Then they don't fill the positions.
No, they don't. They're stressing it out.
Well, that happened with, somebody I know who works in a federal agency, and they have hiring freezes, and they got rid of a lot of people. Now everybody's doing double the work.
Right.
Coming home exhausted.
Try triple or more.
Yeah, I know.
Sure.
I know. So, and it ends to say that some troops are determined to stay and fight. Sergeant Clara Davis was a military police officer who supervised patrol shifts and led investigations at the Army's Schofield Barracks in Hawaii. She had been deployed to South Korea and Bahrain. She thought it would be easy to make a case to the Army that she deserved to stay. In February, this is disgraceful, she was one of the first soldiers to challenge her removal before a review board. It turned out to be pointless, Sergeant Davis said. The board would not allow her to appear unless she dressed in a male uniform and cut her hair short. She refused. For the next 6 hours, she sat in another room trying to listen to her own hearing through a bad phone connection. She was not allowed to speak. Sergeant Davis was Davis was represented by a lawyer named Preja Rashid. Miss Rashid called Sergeant Davis, commander, and co-workers to testify. All said the sergeant was a good soldier who should be retained. None of it made a difference, Ms. Rashid said. The board kept saying they had no choice. They didn't even look her in the eye when they separated her, because they felt like they had to do it instead of speaking out against. Everybody needs to speak out.
We talked
just
about
exactly for the last one. Are you going to be the person who speaks out against this, or let it continue going on? So the decision to separate the sergeant is not at an end. All decisions by military branches review boards must be approved by the branch secretary. So who is that, Hegseth? Is he the military branch secretary?
He's the Secretary of Defense.
Yeah. So it's not clear here. The Army has given the sergeant no sign of when that will happen. In the meantime, she's still living in the barracks, unable to work but collecting a paycheck. She said, it's torture. All I want to do is my job, but I'm not going to give up. If they want to take this uniform, they're going to have to fight me.
Good for her.
Well, you know, the thing is, I think this is all part of Project 2025.
I think, definitely.
Right,
Yeah.
and so it's not about what's right, and how does the
architect of it, Peter Thiel, right?
Right.
Whose family is very heavily connected, was to the SS
Yeah.
in Germany.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't surprise me.
But we all need to speak up. I mean, if you have a family member who's trans and you voted for Trump, I hope you're questioning yourself.
Yeah.
Don't wait till it affects you personally.
Exactly.
You know.
It's going to affect somebody you love, no matter what, or care for. And even if it doesn't.
That's right.
It's a human thing.
Exactly, like the last
If
podcast.
it's morally wrong according to you, you are not God.
That's right.
We should not be
Right.
telling people how they should love or who they should love, how
And
they should be.
especially in an instance where we don't even understand why it happens to people. Like, why? We don't even understand it. You know, let people live their lives.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect you in any way
If
whatsoever.
they are going through the changing who they are, it's not
This
whim.
is not murder. They're not taking
That's
away
right.
a loved
But it's
one.
not
They're
a
not
whim.
doing anything. It's
It's
affecting them
something.
only.
Yeah, it's got to be a really difficult situation.
If they can't meet standards, like legitimate standards, physical fitness or something,
Yeah.
Right.
that's a different story, but that's not what's happening, absent the case but one, that you mentioned.
Yeah.
And this whole thing
Right.
about religion and that, this is like, for the end times, that kind of thing. They said that when Hitler was in office.
I know,
Oh,
I know.
They
And
said
that
even
was
before
that was actually reported by, it was somebody anonymously reported that, I wrote that down. It said a complaint shared from anonymous officer claims non-commissioned officers were told that the Iran war is part of God's plan, and that Trump was anointed by Jesus to light the signal fire in Iran to cause Armageddon and mark his return to earth.
Hence the picture of him dressed
Right.
as
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yep, and they
Just
were
not to-
urged, these officers were urged to tell the troops that this was all part of God's divine plan.
Of course.
And you know that Trump will believe that. Oh, I've been anointed.
Jesus, his ego
I'm
loves
the
it.
No,
king.
he said he was dressed as
A doctor.
Right, yeah.
I've never
Did you
been to a
see the
doctor
meme?
dressed
Somebody,
like
put-
that.
somebody, and it was the Grey's Anatomy cast, and they all had on vestments.
There's so
glowing
many.
orbs in their hand, I'm sure.
Yes,
Like,
I know.
Come on.
Yeah, and this I found out too, that the Pentagon holds monthly prayer service meetings.
Right,
Are you kidding me?
yeah.
The complainant is Christian, and he logged the complaint for 15 troops. And
There's supposed to be a separation of church
Yeah.
and state with our government.
I know, because he said in this one particular, the 15 people he lodged it for, there were 11 Christians, 1 Muslim, and 1 Jew. And it's just,
But good for that guy who was a Christian for logging the complaint, because the Muslims and the one Jew, imagine how they feel.
I know, exactly.
You know, in this
And
situation.
so
he would be that one person when we say, what would you do? He did the right thing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and how he was courageous to do that.
And there were 11 other Christians in that group that also went along with this.
Good for them. Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
So that gives me some hope, because we've got to speak up.
We need the military to turn on the government.
They should absolutely.
No, I'm not going to say that.
No, you did it.
That's called a coup.
You did that already. Said it already.
Well, it's very, very, of course I don't believe in coups and overthrowing governments, but you know how you do it? You go out and you vote. And you know what? Until things change in the Republican Party, I think that you should not vote for Republicans anymore, because they are spineless individuals who just bend a knee to the crazy people who are pulling the strings of Donald Trump in the White House.
Now let's be fair to our, to the politics, because we've had a pretty interesting events here in the Democratic side too, with Swalwell.
I was.
Who I never liked.
That was so disappointing to me.
Very disappointing.
And one Gallego, which really bothers me, because he was one of the postcard campaigns that we worked on over this time. And I was a little on the fence about it, but I was like, all right, So that's coming up now. He's been accused in all of this. We've got to do better. We've got to do better here and who we put forward.
Yeah, we have to stop voting for men. I'm sorry. Don't vote for men anymore. Because every time you think somebody's decent, all of a sudden this woman is coming out and saying that she was raped and she was roofied and...
Well, we have to, if there's no women.
Look at Christine Ohm.
Yeah.
I know.
She's with Lewandowski. She's having an affair.
Yeah,
you just can't do it. Look at Tulsi Gabbard. What the heck? You just can't be any woman either. No, I want to be fair to that too. But we really have to do a
But there's more men
better
abusing their power than women, I would say.
And men, they're the dominant people that commit crime. That's just percentage-wise. That's not man-hating. I love men. It's just percentage-wise, they're the ones that commit the most violent sexual crimes.
That's why we need to put women in charge of the world.
Yes.
We really do. Women need to grab the power, because the world will be a better place. I'm sorry. Women are more empathetic. They're more empathetic people. They don't have the whole macho thing. When I look at Hegseth, just his persona, looking at his face and the way he dresses and everything is like
that's a moot point.
It's not, because it's a macho.
No, they do that for women too, though.
Macho philosophy.
They didn't like how Hillary dressed and how she looked. So I can see getting upset, but there's just we have to listen to what they say and how they
Well, I'm not saying it's just the way he looks. It's the words that come out of his mouth and the way he looks meshed together. It's a big macho thing. It's a white nationalist attitude, and it's very machismo.
All right, so now the Swalwell's out. Who do you think is going to be the best candidate for the Democrats?
I don't like Gavin Newsom that much.
I don't like Gavin Newsom at all.
I like him.
There's something about him. Somebody's going to come out about him.
I don't like Gavin Newsom for it. I don't.
I
don't. So I think we need somebody else. I don't like Gavin Newsom, Democrats.
Yeah.
So
I do.
Yeah.
I just like
something about him. He's got the ego like Trump almost. He's got the big ego.
He sure does.
When he talks,
you just think he's cute.
No, you said that last time, and that kind of bothers me.
Oh, it does? Well, good. I'm glad you tell that.
Yeah, because no, it's not because he's good looking.
Okay.
I like that he defends he's got not Asperger's, but
he's dyslexic,
and then he went after Trump. But he definitely has to pick up the gauntlet, and now you can't keep going after Trump. You have to say what you can do with the position instead.
Who else was running for governor?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm not in California, but I knew it was. I thought Swalwell. Oh, I thought okay.
No, I'm sorry, just because we have dinner reservations.
Oh, okay.
That's the only reason.
Okay, we have a dinner reservation, so we have to go. You're probably tired of hearing us anyway.
We're going to celebrate our birthdays.
Yes.
So, all right.
So bye all.
Bye. Thank you. Good topic.
I don't know who else would be who it was. I haven't really
I'm
watched
saying
it.
goodbye.
Oh, bye.
Number 125.